You gotta go when you gotta go.
Intimate moments. Can't handle it.
Can't handle it. There's duct tape on this man's pillow.
Yeah, because remember his house got ransacked. And he had to put it back together.
Get to buy a new pillow.
Too busy killing butterflies.
Take one from his dad's house. Oh, here it is, the diary.
What is this diary, man?
Love letters.
And Waller really wanted it placed there.
Yeah, put it back. So they obviously got some information from it.
Better hiding spot because you're barely on the floor.
That's true. You're never gonna know. Look at the tension in her eyes.
She does not feel good about this. Guys, what is in Peacemaker's diary? Chris and Robbie, the Jersey Comic Crew, welcome back to another episode as we are about to deep dive into the possibilities of why this diary is so important. Rob, what do you think is in this thing?
So I think it revolves around the secrets and like the trauma of his past with his brother. I think that's a big part of it, like how he trained with his father and how like his brother was doing all this stuff and how he killed his brother, whether it's accidental or intentional. And that's why everybody knows him. It's in his file, right? Because Adebayo was the one who went in there, grabbed the book information, took it all in, and now she's placing it back. And obviously she feels guilty for doing this, right? So it has to be like, oh, she got all this dirt on him that the government or Argus is using against him. I still think that there's more in that diary that she's not letting on to the rest of the people because she still is kind of playing this in-between fence mode position.
Yeah, and if Amanda Waller is the one that's kind of giving these orders, you know it has to be something of significance in this thing, right? I think a part of it is definitely family related. I think you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head because we kind of saw that small flashback with his brother. We don't know fully. We didn't see the full picture of how he died, right? I think it has something to do with his dad. I think that the White Dragon's like true self is written in this diary where it was kind of Chris's only way to have his like the truth be told or to kind of get all that out. There was no one else to talk to. There was no one to go to. His childhood, he still seeks approval from this guy. I think it's all the monstrosities and craziness that might help the cops who are investigating this whole situation keep him in jail longer. I think there's going to be like, yep, he made me do this or he killed this person or, you know, the truth about his brother definitely. But I also think there's another side to this where it's going to have to do something maybe with the Suicide Squad. Maybe this is a diary that he's had his whole life, right? It's got all the montages.
Okay.
Because we think of diaries mostly in the form of like you're a kid or a teenager.
Yeah.
I think this might be kind of his coping mechanism with not only himself, but everything he does. I think there's going to be, you know, stuff. I think Waller wanted it in the first place to see if he wrote down maybe like her orders to kill Rick Flag if necessary or anything to do with Project Starfish.
That makes sense. It's kind of like tying up loose ends. Like, oh, get it. Let me read everything. That's why you're on the team, because you're doing this other thing to make sure he's clean and he's not a loose end I need to take care of about a previous mission. That makes a lot of sense, and that's probably the most logical aspect. Another theory I have here, guys, it's a little bit illogical, down the rabbit hole, if you will.
We like theories.
What if the reason she wanted the diary, right? Let's go back to that frame, right, of like the frame of mind, if you will, of he's a child growing up, going through the Peacemaker training program, we'll call it, right, with his father doing all the stuff, stabbing hobos, his brother dying, all that kind of stuff, how his brother dying, and like how he grew up with his brother, their friendship, that bond. What if that's because his brother's not actually dead, right? Hear me out. What if like his brother thought was died, they recovered the body, and he's been this crazy like super soldier in like deep secret stuff that Argus has, not out of the realm of possibility with like Blacklist or Secret Ops. And Waller's like, I need this information so I could better control Peacemaker's brother. The reason we're using Peacemaker is so I can get more information on his brother. That's why this whole stuff for the Suicide Squad getting Peacemaker was here. The only reason they needed him, because they already had Bloodsport, who did everything he could do, arguably better, right? Because at the end, you know, he got shot. He's like, I just want him for this evil, crazy villain that is his brother, the son of the White Dragon. The more information I could get, and no Peacemaker keeps a diary, we could get that, learn about it, so I could better manipulate and control the evil brother. Hence, Peacemaker Season 2, the brothers going to have to fight against each other. More emotional trauma for Peacemaker. We're going to be eating it up like cereal on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, I think that's totally a possibility too. I wouldn't be surprised if he's still alive somewhere and it's been the secret this whole time.
Yeah.
That would be right up, you know, Amanda Waller, Argus Alley, completely, totally 180 this thing. And it's like, yeah, your brother's been here the whole time. And he's like now doing stuff for Argus, or he's doing stuff elsewhere. and his dad goes into a frenzy because we know that his dad
of course
cared about him and not Chris, right? So that's going to be an interesting thing. I wonder if the other side of this is kind of something that's plain. It's not the craziest theory, but something that we've been trying to figure out on the surface, and that's Adebayo herself, right?
Okay.
Her mother, Amanda Waller, sent her there for a reason, right? And maybe this reason is the diary was Chris's entire life. Her main job could have been, you need to read this and study him like a subject, and figure out the ways to get on his good side, right? Maybe it's a manipulation tactic. Maybe it's a friendship tactic. Like, you saw how he reacted to like someone who just like gave a slight hint that they cared about him, right? Not blatant, not obvious. And he's like, crying in the bathroom, basically.
I like that theory, and it makes sense, right? It's the most logical thing. The reason I went down this deep rabbit hole, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going down that rabbit hole as well, is because they made a point to make this thing so important, right? And it's like, there has to be something in there that we need to know as the audience member, right? And if it's just her manipulating him, not against Peacemaker, but like Chris, he's not the smartest guy. I feel like anybody with a kind heart like Adebayo, without reading all of that, could still do what we have seen her done now to the same effect. Like, still manipulate Vigilante to go kill somebody, right? Still understand Peacemaker, be a friend for her, to get close and just listening. Like, it seems all surface level. It doesn't really seem like information that she has in her back pocket to manipulate it. So that's why I went down the rabbit hole. Like, all right, what is the crazy thing? Why does Amanda Waller want it? Because she could manipulate him anyway. She has him in his pocket. And just for a more of a perfected form of manipulation seems kind of lazy, right? It seems like, all right, we need something bigger and better here if we're making this much of a point to it.
But whatever's in there, there's some red on that ledger, right? Whether it's the truth about his brother's death, as she's learning about him to get close to him, but learning about like his brother or something his dad did. Like, there's something in there that is going to come to light, arguably in the next episode or the one after that, right? Where there's only so many episodes left. There's definitely some type of secret. I think what we're waiting to see is what it affects. Does it affect his past? Does it affect his future or present? I think that's the biggest question.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the significance of the Peacemaker diary as far as we know so far. Let us know down in the comments below what you think the importance of that diary is and why Adebayo needs it so desperately.
And guys, thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up, really helps the channel out a lot. If you're new, subscribe, turn on those notifications. You don't want to miss any more of our Peacemaker videos. And thank you so much for watching them. If you missed anything, check them out right here on the channel. As always, I'm Chris Heller. That is Rob Moran. We're the Jersey Comic Crew. And we'll see you next time.